Welcome to the Blended Kitchen. I'm Barry.
I'm Beth.
And we're going to try to make a challah for Rosh Hashaná. It's supposed to be a round challah and a sweet challah. And we have never made challah. So either this will be a success, which means y'all can do it, or it'll be a learning experience, which means we'll have to try again. It's not the first time we have failed.
It's true.
But we're not afraid.
That's right. Don't be afraid to try.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I like to dirty the least amount of dishes. So for that to happen, I'm going to start with the dry measurements first. And then I can use it for my wet measurements. And because it's flour, I like to sift it through the machine. So I'm going to do 3 cups of flour.
This is bread flour, not your regular all-purpose. It's bread flour. It's a bit finer going from the get-go. Three cups.
3 cups. Shoot. I'm going to fix my mistake in just a sec here.
See? We're not much in the baking department. Not much in the baking department.
I need this to get the yeast in here later, so go ahead and sift this.
It's like a choo-choo train.
It is like a choo-choo train. All right. No dead bugs. All right. All right, so this is ready. I'm going to set this aside. And turn around now and get some hot water to proof. This is rapid yeast. It says you don't need to proof it, but I'm going to follow the example that I had just to minimize any mistakes later. I've got the hot water running. I'm going to put about half a cup of water in here. And stick it inside the bowl. Let's see if anything happens while that's going on. All right. 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
You need salt, vanilla, with lemon.
1 teaspoon of sugar just for the active yeast. That's what the sugar is for. Okay.
Oh boy.
Meanwhile, on the stove, I've got a little saucepan full of water boiling. I'm going to whisk this yeast.
It should start to bubble.
Do you think it's bubbling?
Mm-hmm. Did you see the bubbles?
Or is that from the whisking?
Again, baking novice knows no idea. No clue.
We don't know. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. All right.
If you haven't figured it out yet, we get our challah from the store already made. We buy it from Publix.
All right. Now it says in the bowl, put an egg in your egg yolk and the honey. Can you give me about half a cup of honey, please?
Half a cup, huh?
Yeah. We are... Shoot. That was a mistake. That was supposed to happen over the sink. I dropped a
Watch what you say on the
yolk.
camera.
I dropped a yolk in here.
The camera don't lie.
Shush. I'm working here. I'll have to cut you out later.
Hey, strong man.
You need strong man.
I need strong man. Open jar.
A strong man open jar for you.
Oh, see, it was just me.
It's not just you.
Might have to put that in some hot water.
Ding.
Oh, you got it.
Ding. Do that over a plate or something. You do that over that little tiny thing. You're going to get it everywhere. I'm going to have a mess, a mess, a mess. Okay, where's the salt?
If you will just move some stuff around, you can see.
Shush. Salt. 2 tablespoons.
I'll
I
have
need
you
just
know I
1.
didn't make a mess with this honey. Not a drop. Not a drop.
Put it in here. Put it in here.
Not a drop. It was spilled.
Okay. Takes care of that.
The round challahs for Rosh Hashaná are supposed to be sweet. That's why the honey's going in.
You know what I'm looking for?
No.
Vanilla.
Well, it's out here too.
It's behind here. Okay. So it says 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. We just need 1.
You just using 1?
Yeah, because we're halving the, you know, we don't need 2 challahs. Put that stuff out of the way, please.
Can I have the lid to the honey jar?
Where is the lid?
Well, Pooh Bear, you're the one that opened it.
Right there, Elizabeth. You see that? That would have bit you. That was a snake. That would have bit you. Right there. Front of your face.
Everybody's going, it's right there.
Front of your face. Front of your face, woman. Mix it up. It says not, doesn't say to mix it, but I feel it needs to be mixed. Like extra yeast in there.
You're going to have a mess.
Think it'll go crazy? Think it'll be like a science experiment?
Were you not supposed to use that whole pack of yeast?
No, it's not foaming up the way I thought it would foam up. So I'm questioning what happens if I do 2.
Our apologies to bakers everywhere. So sorry. So sorry.
This reminds me of the one time I wanted to make soup ganiyot. And we did not have any baking powder, so we just said, forget baking powder. And each one was heavy. So what I'm doing is I'm mixing in a little bit, flour at a time. I'm telling y'all, if this works, Anybody can make challah. But not only that, I mean, you brought me a left-handed spatula. I'm not left-handed.
We'll switch hands. You see that I'm not the one doing this, because if it was the opposite way, I would be crying by now because he wouldn't be as nice as I am sitting here laughing.
Man, this is a mess. I don't know. It's supposed to be. I mean, look at all this flour we got to still put in here. I'm questioning if I need to put more water in here.
That's what you get for halving a recipe.
Well, it's okay. We'll figure it out. If I can't get it mixed by hand, I'm going to work on putting it in a machine to mix. But this doesn't look right to me. But I've never made dough for a bread. And I got all this flour here, and I think we can put a little more water. It's not really sticky.
Okay, well, maybe you're on the right track, Shulam.
I think I am on the right track. So it says to do this, and then what? I think I'm going to have to wash that bowl out. Thought I lost my microphone in the dough or something. All right.
Get your canola oil, sweetie.
Get your canola. Get your canola. Get your canola. Can you move that out of the way, please? Here we go. A little bit of canola oil. I put really a little bit in there, not much.
Is that enough to get everything all oiled up?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did it say to do about this?
Put it in there, smack it on the bottom. Get that side greasy, and then turn it over, flip it over.
Okay. Smack it in the bottom.
That's what you said, smack it.
I don't think that's enough
You
oil.
didn't say to add no more oil.
I don't think I put enough. Just a hair. Okay. All right. So we're going to let this thing puppy proof for about an hour. To do that, I'll show you what we're going to do. Our thing, cover it over with a clean thing.
Oh, and by the way, this oven is not
It's
on.
off. The oven's
It's
off.
The only heat that's is in there is from that boiling water.
Right?
And then we're gonna set a timer for an hour. All right.
All right. 60 minutes. We'll see you all in 60 minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Next.
Welcome back.
Rosh Hashaná is a fairly new Jewish holiday. It's actually not in the Bible. There's another holiday that's right there that is biblical, and Barry will tell you a little bit about that while I get my stuff going.
You talking about Yom HaTruah?
Yeah.
Yom HaTruah. I'll show you what it is. It is the day of sounding the shofar.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to be woken up every morning
No.
with the sound of the shofar?
No, tell them about the day of the trumpet of the shofar, please.
It is the day that was commanded to blow the shofar. And on that day, they were also commanded to keep it as a Sabbath.
A rest day.
Day of rest. It doesn't tell us a whole lot more than that at this time.
Yeah.
But we do know that the shofar was used to announce kings
Yes.
in battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was announced times and a way to get.
Go over there.
What do you mean to do?
Stand on
Why am
the
I on the side? Nobody can see me
You
here.
can't see you. I see you right there, and they see you.
Let your cooking begin.
Okay.
Stage one.
Oh. Also,
Every time we try to talk, I'll blow the shofar. We'll have to have just subtitles from here on. Okay.
please don't.
Okay, good.
So, on Rosh Hashaná, we wish everybody a sweet new year. And it's tradition to have dishes made with apples. And I'll let Barry tell you more about that in a minute when he comes back, because he's just disappeared. But I'm going to make apple crisp. It's very American. It's probably also very European, but it's something that gets made in the fall here with the leftover apples. I remember as a kid, my mama and daddy would go up on the mountain, not every year, but sometimes, and buy a bushel of apples from the orchards up near home and bring them home. And mama would cook them, just fried apples, but she'd also make apple crisps and other various things with those cooking apples. Well, I don't have cooking apples like that, but I have some leftover apples from a bag. These are pink ladies. They're going to be a little sweeter, so I won't add as much sugar to the apples. But to make apple crisp, the first thing you have to do is slice up some apples. So that's what I'm going to do here first. And I leave the peels on. Might as well. The good stuff is in the peels. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
This is the way old-timey people would cut up apples.
Is that why your grandmother only had 5 fingers?
Shut up. Both my grandmothers had all 10 fingers. Very Shulam.
You know why they have apples? Apples are a sweet fruit. It goes along with the theme of...
Did they grow apples in the Holy Land, Barry?
Haven't you heard of the famous...
A lot of these recipes call for 6 to 8 apples, but that's, to me, too many. But y'all can't hear what I'm saying anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That was priceless. You gotta admit, that was awesome.
The peanut gallery doth speak of the game.
Can you play it again?
Sure. Play it again. Actually, my mother slices up everything like this. I can't get her to use a cutting board if I tried. And you know what? Her mama cut things up like this. And her grandmother cut up things like this. This is just how home cooks did stuff, y'all. Might be a slight bit more dangerous this way, but they didn't have money for cutting boards. My grandma did not have a true measuring cup. She literally just had a porcelain cup with a chip in it that she used to measure stuff out with. And she was one of the best cooks I've ever met. You make do with what you do have. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do for apple crisp, now that everything has been sliced, all the apples are sliced, we're going to take a cup of white sugar for the apples. They're going to emulsify in the sugar, a cup-ish. That's probably enough. Along with some cinnamon. Now, cinnamon is a taste of choice. Some people like a lot, some people don't like it at all. So we're going to be a little bit conservative with it. That's probably enough. And my hands are clean. We're just going to mix this up. Some people will put lemon juice in this for a little bit more tang. This is going in the oven pretty quickly, so I don't think we need to do lemon juice on these. But we're just going to let them sit like this for a little bit. That's going to soak up a little bit of that sugar. And then we'll put it all together. And now we're going to make a topping. But the first thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to use an 8x8 dish to use this in. Oop, I have a stray. And I'm going to grease it a little bit with just a smidgen of this oil that's already out. You can use oil, you can use butter, you can use Crisco, you can use whatever. It's just so stuff doesn't stick. So that's been greased. Now to make the topping, I got a bigger bowl out. You need a little bit more room to work. We're going to use brown sugar, oats, and butter. That's it. And a little bit more cinnamon. Most recipes call for old-fashioned oats. Yeah, that's a better choice, but I don't have old-fashioned oats right now. I've got quick oats, and that's what we're going to use. You take a cup. I'm going to have a cup of quick oats. Maybe just a tad, maybe a cup and a half. And, just depends on how sweet you want it, but maybe half cup-ish. That's probably a quarter right there. A little bit more, maybe a third. Just a tad bit more. Yeah, that's probably plenty. And of course, the brown sugar has, when it melts, it of course melts thick because it has molasses in it. So you really want to use brown sugar for the topping, not white sugar. You'll get a different consistency on the top. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And then cinnamon. And then we're going to chop up a stick of butter. Yeah, a stick. Actually, we're not going, well, we are going to chop the butter. And I've already, this this butter's been sitting out a bit, so it's not as cold as it should be. But we'll see how it works. And we're going to cut this butter into the mixture. And I use a pastry. Again, you used what you had. The ladies did not use a pastry cutter because they probably didn't have one. What they did was they took 2 knives, 2 sharp ones. And this is why they called it cutting in the butter, because they would crisscross cut this butter into the mix. And it's supposed to form pea-size balls. But this right here takes a good while to do. That's why I have the pastry cutter. Oh, yep. And so we just kind of going to mix it in like this. Of course, the butter's going to get stuck a little bit in the cutter, but that's okay. We'll get it out. Basically, this just spreads the butter out evenly. And of course, the butter is going to melt the topping, but it's also going to melt down into the apples, so it will help cook the apples. That's why you really don't need to add any to the sliced apples. I'm going to crumble it up a little bit with our fingers, because that usually flattens it out. And you see, where are we? It reminds me of oatmeal cookie dough, but of course it doesn't have any flour, so it's kind of sticky, you know. And that's kind of the consistency you want right there. Pour our apples in. Maybe there's a little bit of sugar there that didn't get mixed in really well, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a little extra mixing here and get it all distributed properly. Kind of pat it down so we got a fairly even, yeah. And then we're going to take our topping and put it on. Sorry. And just kind of pat that out kind of evenly over top of the apples as best you can. It does not have to cover all the apple. It's nice to see a little bit of the apples sticking through, so you kind of know what you got going on underneath. There, this side needs a little bit of fixing. There. Yeah, that's probably good enough. Okay, we want it to be crisp and brown on the top. That's our indicator that it's done. So a half an hour is a good starting point, and then we'll see what it looks like from there.
See, we got 37 minutes to the first proofing of our challah bread, so be a good time to check on both.
Yep. Say in 2 and
2 and 2. It's alive!
Well, folks, 30 minutes is up and my apple crisp is done, and I've got it out of the oven. You can see here it's golden brown on the top, but it is extremely hot. It cannot be eaten right at the moment. We've got to let it rest, and so it's going to cool down here out of the oven, and Barry will get his dough out and we shall see what we have.
Da-da-dum, da-da-dum. The challah has doubled in size.
It has risen.
And because I purchased fast, rapid rising challah, it only has to rise one time.
Okay.
And one of the benefits of this sucker is that you don't have to push it back down and make
Make it go again?
Yeah, make it go again.
Okay.
So if that's about half, I'm going to take each one of these and roll it out to about, said 18 inches. 6. I think that's about 18.
350.
Okay.
It says preheat the oven to 350 and then let it rise for 30 to 45 minutes longer.
No, after
it's been braided.
Okay, well, we'll let it rise another 45 minutes after. But for now,
Wait up. Yeah. So it's 350. So you have to make more chains for a rounded hollow than you do for a regular one. Was that right? The regular one is 3, right?
Yeah, but this one is a special.
Yeah, this is going to be a rounded hollow, so it's going to be braided with 4 ropes instead of 3. And
Okay. Dun 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 dun.
can we see it? Yeah.
But make sure go over there. Look at my little camera there.
Yeah.
Make sure it is zoomed in. Just try it.
Better now.
Okay. This one goes over here, like this. This one goes over here. This one goes over here. This one goes over here.
Okay. You're that makes sense.
All right.
That makes sense.
Then you take this one over this way.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And this one over this way.
Mm-hmm.
And this one over this way.
Mm-hmm.
This one over this way.
Okay.
Then you twist these together, tuck it underneath it.
That's it?
Twist these together, tuck it underneath it. Take these and twist them together, and tuck it underneath it. You take these and twist them together, and tuck it underneath it.
Ooh.
Ooh. Isn't that pretty?
That's very pretty.
Yes. We might have success.
Say it again.
Yes. We might have success. All right. Okay. The little trick that I did there.
I saw your little trick.
Pretty decent. All right.
Like a little Einstein you are.
Since this is the quick rapid thing, I'm going to have to let it rise that long. Let's let it rise 30 minutes. 30-minute timer. At the same time, in about 20 minutes, we'll turn the oven 350.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll stick it in. Ooh. No, one more thing.
What?
We need to, last step is egg wash. So.
Don't you need to let it rise first?
Yeah, we'll do egg and water. Egg and water.
In a half an hour.
A half an hour.
Ooh.
Ooh. That didn't work out too well.
Be careful.
I don't think we need 2 of these.
Be careful with my stoneware pan. It's the only one I have left.
Okay. We're making progress. 30-minute timer. No water is going to get to that. No. We're going to have to do a special show on the science of how a dishwasher functions and how to load it effectively. That's the word I'll use, is effectively. If your dishes come out dirty, you don't load your dishwasher effectively. We'll just leave it at that. We're back. We let this thing rest for another 45 minutes. I have got the oven turned on to 350. I beat up one egg with a little bit of water in it. And we're going to paint this challah. Just as well. So we will put it in the oven. Come back in 40 minutes again. It takes a while to cook bread.
Bread is not a whole day process, but at least a half a day.
Yeah, it's at least half a day. Right? Now
Gotta be committed.
Now I know why bakers get up early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. See you in 2 and 2. So,
Hurry!
at 20 minutes, I took it out. And what you see is that you see all of the expansion happening on this bread.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows all the white areas that were not covered with the initial egg wash. So I always wondered about this, but now I understand more. They basically recommend egg washing the whole thing again, but this thing is already so brown that I really don't want to have it become extra brown on all the other spots. I'm just going to egg wash
the lighter
portions.
Yeah. Ooh, wait.
Look at that beaut.
Yeah. I wouldn't have left it in any much longer.
Nope.
And toasty.
I'll take this out of the way. Temperature should be about 190.
Oh, look at this fancy dude.
188.
I'd say.
189. It's good. All right, guys. We're back. The bread is cool. Are you going to slice it or are you going to pull a chunk?
I don't care.
Instead, we pull a chunk. Oh. Oh. That crust is very thick.
Roosh.
Very, very thick, but we need butter on this. Too much butter? I'm going to put butter on mine, but I'm going to put honey on top of my butter. Just screw this back on without washing this lid.
Maybe.
Oh, look at this. See the honey that's all crystallized. Do, 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 do. Salute over there. The crust is too thick for me, but inside is nice and soft. I'd say it is a
triumph.
A solid. All right. It has to be washed before I do anything with it.
What? shut the front door.
It's too sweet for me, but it needs some vanilla ice cream.
Yeah,
to knock down the sweetness.
somebody, we won't mention names, ate all that vanilla ice cream.
See y'all next time. Try these things out at home.
Shana tova.
Shana tova.
Bye.
Bye.